So I received this email that says, "Hi, Usha. Thank you for sharing so generously. My problem is that I find it difficult to complete a task without some sort of recognition attached to it. I was meant to be studying a short course which would have ended in a mini graduation. Now that we are in lockdown and I know that we won't be having the graduation, I find it difficult to motivate myself to study. Thank you, Al." This is not an uncommon problem. A lot of us take action because we're associating it with something that's coming at the end of that action, a reward that's coming at the end of that action. Now, in this instance, you started studying something. And you've got to go back and look at what it is you started studying and then understand why you started studying it in the first place. Now, if you started studying it, so look at your values. We said there are 3 areas we want to look at. We want to look at our values, we want to look at our beliefs, and we want to look at our behavioral drivers. So let's look at the values to start with. If you started studying this short course because you linked it to career progression, you linked it to learning and development, you linked it to acquiring new skills, you linked it to personal growth, and these are things that you value highly in your life, then you've got to go back and say, you know what? The reason I studied in the first place was not because I could have the big celebration at the end and the photographs that I could post on social media, but I actually did this because I place a high value in terms of my learning and development and growth. I place a high value in terms of my career progression. I place a high value in terms of retaining my job or creating opportunities in new career paths that I might have had my eye on. And that is why I'm studying. So now I want to connect the why I'm studying back to my values and say, well, that's what's driving me, not the pictures and the big celebration and party that could have happened at the end that is now missing. And if this is my reason for doing it, and then pile it on. I mean, if you got the promotion, what could that mean for you? What could that mean in terms of your life? If you got a salary increase because you've now completed this new area of study, how could that help you to improve the life of your family? And if you're valuing family highly, then you're utilizing that to motivate you to keep studying. So we've got to say, I'm going to take away the power from recognition here, and I'm going to place that power in another area, and I'm going to get my mind to start focusing on what I value highly and how studying is now connected to what I value highly. It's not just connected to the party that would have happened at the end of the course. So the first was values. The second is beliefs. Now, if we believe that, well, let's walk around and say, well, my beliefs are that if we don't have a graduation celebration at the end, and if I don't have a picture receiving a certificate or wearing a gown, or whatever it is that you had connected in your mind, then actually I'm not the person, I'm not a bigger person, the person that my family can look up to because I've gone and studied, because my family values really highly. So maybe your parents are looking for you to have some sort of certification, or maybe you've heard people speaking highly of a relative or a friend who's now gone and completed their studies and has the photos to prove it, and the photos are up in the living room and are looked at proudly, and now you're not going to have that, and it's demotivating you and you're not able to move forward. So go back and you've got to just start to dig deep and say, why am I unable to move forward with my studying? Why do I hold such importance to that final celebration, to those pictures, to the fact that I could have tweeted it and that I could have put a certificate on the wall? Why am I holding such a high charge on that? Does it stem from some sort of belief system that I acquired when I was growing up, from watching others, from just what society might have been sharing with me? And find a belief system that might be holding you back right now, and just switch it off or change the context on it. Change the story that you're telling yourself around that belief system. And the third area that you need to look at are the behavioral drivers. And some of us that have huge energy reserves when it comes to the whole celebration and the acknowledgements and the recognition, we really do find it difficult to move forward if that is missing, if that is lacking in our lives. So we want to say, you know what, I know that this is a core behavioral driver for me, but in this instance, this behavioral driver is actually hurting me, not serving me. I know I need to look at other behavioral drivers, and maybe one of your other behavioral drivers are just the focus on quality, the focus on delivering the best service possible. And what you want to do is you want to take this certification, this studies that you're doing, and connect it to the behavioral driver that says, I am the person who stands for top-notch quality and service. And if we're able to then shift away from our charge to our celebration and recognition and the excitement that's associated with it, to one that says, I am really focused on top-notch quality and service delivery. And the reason I'm studying is so I can deliver this higher level of quality to my clients. I can improve my service levels to my clients or my employer. That is why I'm studying. So we've disconnected away from values, beliefs, and behavioral drivers that are limiting in this instance, that are holding us back, that are making us stop studying. And we're saying, I'm connecting them to values, beliefs, and behavioral drivers that are going to allow me to move forward. And now we're no longer focused on the recognition. We're focused on all of the other value that we can create through continuing our studies. And if you're able to do that and tell yourself that often enough, then you're creating new neural pathways in your own mind, pathways that are going to say, this is the course of action I take, this is what makes me happy. And we're no longer going into that negative emotive response state. We're now staying in a very rational space, and we're saying, this is why I do it, and this is what's going to energize me. And I'm no longer only motivated by the recognition that would have come at the end of it. I'm motivated from all of the other benefits that I'm going to gain through the process. So if you relate to this, and Al, this is your problem that you're dealing with, if you can do this, I pretty much guarantee you're going to get unstuck, you're going to pick up the books, and you're going to start studying again. So please try that, do it. And it's just so important that we don't allow a lack of recognition to stop us from achieving the goals that matter most to us in life. So just make it happen.